Hey there, Predator fans, this is Wesatron. Today we're taking a look at NECA's brand new 2013 Jungle Hunter from their Predator line. This is in the new 25th anniversary packaging, as you can see right here to the side. It's got the little, I don't know what you want to call it, it's a sighting of some type, like a laser sight. Very cool there. Shot down here of the action figure with some nice special effects there on the helmet. The back of the box interior has got a shot of the Jungle Hunter, and the jungle here in the background has kind of got that sort of heat vision design that they did for it, and you can see down here he's sort of going cloaked. So there's some wavy parts in here, and you can kind of see through them. Very cool. Credits. We've got, hope you can all see that, Kyle Windricks, again, doing awesome stuff. Paint, John Wardell, Jeffrey Trapp, who've been kind of the stars of our show lately. Prototypes, Adam Smith. Photography, Stephen Mazurek maybe. Packaging, Chris Longo. And, of course, the man in charge, Randy Falk. On the back, we've got a little bit of a bio, which I believe is the same as the one in the Dutch review. And down here we've got, let's see, Jungle Extraction Dutch, Jungle Patrol Dutch, and the Predator here. And then another shot of the figure. So that's pretty much it for this. And I already have, as you can see, taken the figure out of the box. So here he is. But let's get a little closer. Now we're zoomed in a little bit. I just got him in kind of a sort of a fun slashing pose with his claws here. Very, very cool. Now the big draw to this figure, since of course they have released a masked Jungle Hunter before, is that he's got the new body style. So most of the things on this figure are the same, except he does have new ball-jointed hips and double-hinged knees, which we will look at in just a second. But first of all, just so you guys are in the loop on this, I want to, there we go, get him to stand upright, kind of show him next to the last one that I got, which I believe was in the, maybe the 2-pack with the alien. So let me just get him in here real quick. And this way we can get a slightly better look at what you're going to be getting for your extra $20 this time around. So most of this stuff is very similar to the last figure. This over here is the new figure. This is the previous. The biggest difference for me, of course, would be the armor. And it may be very difficult to pick up on camera, but you can definitely see it in person. So let me get in a little closer. You can see this Predator, the new Predator, has a much more reflective metallic surface to his mask. This one's a lot duller. I mean, it still has the metallic property, but it's definitely not as shiny. You can see it over here on the blow dryer gun, if you want to call it that. You see the difference there, how this one kind of looks sort of dirty and old, and this one is a little shinier and newer. And it goes pretty much all over the gray or silver parts of the body. You can see how much shinier this one is. On the legs especially, you can see this one is so dark it's almost like almost a brown or a greenish color, and this one is much more of a silver with some maybe bronze mixed in there. You can see it on the hip plates. And then, of course, the skin tone is a little different, too. You see how he's got this very nice gradient, and the really bright spots are very bright, whereas on here, we've got more of like a slighter gradient that's still very dark on the actual bicep muscle itself. And then more spots, though, whereas this one has more spots on his chest, and this one's much cleaner. And also I'll say that the netting on this one is a little bit cleaner than on this one. You can see like in the hips there, his is applied a little more evenly than this one, where it gets a little spotty around the loincloth. So, you know, other than that, they're very, very similar to each other. You know, a little more detail on the dick skirt there, if you want to call it that. But essentially, very similar figures. If you are a vanilla pose guy, if you're not really into, you know, fun posing and stuff, you could probably safely stay with this guy and be totally satisfied. There's not a huge difference in paint. Some people will be able to see the paint difference here and just be blown away. For me, I'd say it's subtle enough that it wouldn't make a huge difference for me. I'm just here for the articulation. So, since we are talking about articulation, we'll talk about what this guy's got. So for the most part, similar to the other figure. We've got the nice ball-jointed head. So you can see he can look very far up, a little bit down, not a lot. We've got some nice tilt action there, very cool, and of course left and right. We've got swivel hinges in the shoulders. They go out about that far. We're blocked a little bit by the armor on this side. If you want to push it up more, you can. This is like a floating piece of armor here, if you can see that moving a little bit. I just don't want to tear the glue or anything off, so. The elbows are much nicer on this version of Predator than on a lot of them. You can see he can get a much closer to 90 degree. Not perfect, of course, but much better. This one has a very nice bend to it. So very nice. We've got rotation there as well. We've got ball joints in the wrists. Very nice motion on those, as you can see. That's very cool. We retained the swivel in the waist. They didn't want to redo the entire upper body for this. So instead of the ball joint that the others have, he still just does have a swivel. Which isn't a big deal for me, because I don't know about most people, but for me the ball joint is basically a swivel anyway. I can hardly get it to move at all. But yeah, so swivel in the waist. We've got 45 degree hinges in the, or ball joint hinges, swivel hinge in the hips. So we can go forward very far, we can go back very far, and we've lost the V-cut, so we don't have to kind of like jimmy the leg out and fix it that way. We still got swivels in the upper thighs here. So we got nice rotation in there. And then we have double hinges now instead of swivel hinge knees. So first point will get you close to 90 degrees. The second point will take you very far back. So that's great. Now they didn't do any other improvements as far as I can tell on the ankle joints. So you'll, as far as the double hinge joint here, you're still not going to be able to get a perfect crouch just because the ankle joints can't move that well. But they do have much better movement than, say, the Berserker, the Predators. So, it's some nice movement. If you want to move his leg out to the side, you can still get, flat-footed stance. That's not too bad. So, yeah, pretty cool. These figures should be hitting stores very soon. NECA just announced that they'd released them. I think on Toy Ark maybe a day ago, and they released a small batch just like the Dutch on their eBay site, which may still be up. The NECA store is their eBay site, and I paid $19 for it, so it was even cheaper than Dutch, which was cool. For the pair, I think I paid $50 including shipping, so that wasn't too bad for me because I was dying to get these figures. But yeah, everything else is pretty much the same as the previous figure. We've got the skulls. We've got the nice detail on the skirts. All the armor is extremely well done. None of it is, tough armor, so it's not going to impede your articulation at all, which is great. The new skirt here, these frilly parts, they're not going to get in the way of articulation. The ball-jointed head still works great. The dreads here are individual, in sections. They're glued together. I mean, there's a lot of work that goes into this guy. You should be really impressed by that. Oh, I forgot to mention articulation-wise also, the blow-dryer gun does have a hinge that lets it go up and down, and then a ball joint on the base of the gun. So you get a lot of range out of that. So, he looks up, the gun looks up. So cool stuff. But yeah, as I said, mostly the same figure over again. But if you did want the updated body, this is the way to go. If you're cool with the older figure, which I believe is probably getting pretty hard to find by now, then you can stick with it. But if you want this particular character, you don't have the old one, definitely give it a pickup. It's a great figure. It looks fantastic. Paint, sculpt, everything comes together. Yeah, definite pickup. I expect to pay about $17 to $20 depending on where you get them. So that's it. If you have any questions or comments, just toss them in the box below. I'd be glad to answer them. And I will talk to you later, guys. Thanks. Bye.